Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Sunday Night Mixed Media Backgrounds. Now, as you can see, I have a whole bunch of my December project stuff kind of out and about. But I do have this stencil pulled out, and I also have some vellum pulled out the wrong piece of vellum. It's not what I was going for. I was actually going for the clear vellum. And then I am going to pull out this one. So I'm kind of like pre-planning my page to know what this is going to look like. So what I'm doing in the book is this is going to go on the back of here, right? Like I know what I want to put on the back of here now. So what I have to do is, do the page protector size so I know how big I need to cut this. So we're just going to use a little pencil here. Or let's see, how wide is this paper? It's like a little bit less than that, so I'm going to go here. And then the paper is, this is what happens when you even just scrapbook a little tiny bit, but you have so much out, like, okay. I really don't need these because I don't need to check them out. So we're just going to close that up, throw that in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and line up So now what I want to do is make sure that it fits in here, because this is a pretty tight fit. Yeah, it's good. All right, so I'm going to put this back in here. I'm going to put that off to the side. So now what I want to do is trim down my vellum so that it is basically kind of framing that green buffalo check. So what I want it to do, put the vellum back because we will use that in the future. So what I want it to do is kind of look like this is matted by that green buffalo check. See what I mean? Where there's a little bit around the edge. So for this mixed media background, I'm going to use my Glitter Glaze, but I am also going to get out my gilded embossing powder, my embossing ink pad, and where the heck did I put my embossing gun? Oh, there it is. That's what happens when you put stuff away. I can't find it. All right, so we're going to pull this out too. Now, this is something that I do pretty, I would say, frequently with my, this is like printer paper. What I do pretty frequently in this project is I take the edge here, run my embossing ink pad along the edge, And then I take my embossing powder, put it down on a piece of paper, and then dip the paper in it, right? Whether it's vellum, whether it's pattern paper, whatever it is. I'm just gonna dip it in the edges like this. Okay, so that is ready to go. We're gonna put this embossing powder back into the embossing powder dish, whatever it's called. I'm gonna turn on my heat gun. I'm gonna let it heat for a minute, because otherwise it's just gonna blow that powder right off the vellum. Don't do that. And then we're gonna emboss, and look at that. Man, that is magical. Now this is not a heat resistant vellum that I'm using. This is just a regular vellum. So there will be a little bit of warping. I'm not concerning myself with the warping, you guys, because it's going inside of a page protector. And normally I wouldn't concern myself with the warping because you guys know I stack this album pretty full. And then I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so there is the embossing, right? Like, that's just cool on its own. So I could say my mixed media background is done because that is cool, but it's not done. I need to get my Swiffer up in here. It is not done because we're going to use this stencil from Scrapping Reflections over it. Now the vellum is warped, and this stencil is definitely well loved and well used. Parts of it are bent and things like that. So maybe I will do a bit of the stencil where it's not as loved. Okay, so what I do want to do here, though, because I am going to be what I'll do is I will take this stencil, and I'm actually going to pixie spray the back of it. So you know, they say you should probably pixie spray in a well-ventilated area, right? Like, but I'm going to be very honest. I usually pixie spray right over top of my trash can. Like, I take the lid off of it and spray it. And hopefully you guys heard the spray. And then I'm going to let it sit and dry off a little bit. I'm also going to add just a tiny little bit of adhesive to the vellum itself so it'll stay. Okay, so this is now pixie sprayed. It is a little tacky. We are going to put this down like this. What I want basically is for all of my stencil to kind of go over this, right? Like, I don't want it inside the stencil. I kind of want it all over the stencil. So now I'm going to take my glitter glaze, and I'm going to take a silicone brush. This is Glitter Glaze in Scarlet. And I am just going to put it through my stencil. And I am going to put this through a little bit thick because it is going over top of vellum. And you will be able to like see through it. So I want to make sure that the glitter is quite glittery. Now I'm also going to decorate on top of this, so if there's some mistakes, if the glitter glaze spreads underneath of the stencil, which very well could happen because of the nature of the warpy vellum, then I'm not going to worry about it because I'll be able to camouflage a bunch of it. Plus, who said the Christmas album has to be perfect, right? All right, I'm going to wipe this down just a little bit, just in case I don't make it to the sink to actually clean this sucker off. We're just going to wipe it down with a paper towel. This will actually make it to the sink, but we're going to peel this up. And it's a little stuck to the vellum. That's okay. Ooh, it's a lot stuck to the vellum, and I just stuck my fingers in it. All right. All right, pull that off. And remember, in my infinite wisdom, I put a little bit of adhesive down there. All right, there we go. So there is my piece. That is my mixed media background. It will go over top of this. So I think that that's going to be gorgeous once it's dry and I actually decorate on there. Don't know what the decoration's going to be, but it's going to happen. So anyway, guys, there is my Sunday night mixed media background. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.